Hey guys, welcome back to an episode of Off the Shelf. I am your host, HD, and this time what we found off the shelf was... Hard Boiled, released in 1992, directed by John Woo. This film stars Chow Yun-fat as some kind of super cop. I'll explain why later. But this film is an action crime movie, and it is a Hong Kong action classic. And, yeah. Now, why I call Chow Yun-fat a super cop is because he gets shot once in this entire fucking movie. Once. And that's at the very end of the movie. At the rest of the time, there's like fucking hundreds of triads shoot at him throughout this entire movie. And, like, they just miss. They're like stormtroopers. They just miss him every fucking time. And it's like he's fucking just the ultimate cop. He's the greatest cop of all time. He can evade any bullet when he wants to. And it's like, it's insane. His partner, Alan, he gets shot a couple times. He gets beat up, but never Chow Yun-fat. He always prevails. You know what I mean? His first partner, though, I don't remember his name, but he basically died RoboCop style. He just riddled with bullets. He got shot. His partner was the exact opposite of him. Like, his first thought, he just got shot all the time. In the one scene he was in, he got shot like fucking 10 times. Like, not even including the part when he got riddled with bullets when he finally died. Like, he got shot so many times. I'm surprised he was still alive. He literally looked like he was in like a huge... Like, he was a huge gunfight, but it looked like he went through a fucking war zone. There was blood everywhere. It was crazy. But yeah. The movie's insane. And, well, I quite enjoyed this film. You know, I thought it was very fun. The second half was just fucking bonkers as shit. Obviously, the action was good, because John Woo, you know, it's kind of a given. And, you know, it's just, you know, really enjoyable. I do think that the action, the blood, all that, you know, even the story, even though the story isn't obviously the main part of the movie, the story was still, you know, solid. The characters are fine, and I do think that all that was good. But the main part that I really, really like about this film is the fucking bonkers second half. The second half was just so fucking wild, and the entire hospital segment of the movie was just fucking great. Because it was just like... I have to give you the synopsis. So the movie starts out... Chow Yun-fat's partner gets riddled with bullets and fucking dies like an idiot. And then by these triad guys, and eventually Chow Yun-fat in the first half's been on like a vendetta. He wants to kill the triad guys. He wants to kill him, get revenge for his partner. You know, and you know, he meets this guy like in like a shootout. He meets this guy named Alan who has the chance to kill him, but he doesn't. And he walks away, and he's like. Eventually, you find out later on in that movie that the guy, Alan, is actually an undercover cop, right? He's undercover. And, you know, he didn't kill him because, obviously, he's also a cop. And then, later on in the movie, they gain a little, like, alliance. They start working together to take down the triads and find the weapons cache, solve the case. And then, eventually, after a guy is nearly killed by Alan, but Alan actually saves him because, you know, he put, like, a lighter in his pocket and he shot the lighter to make it, like, you know, make it look real. Then he takes him to the Chow Yun-fat takes him to the hospital, and eventually they send Alan and some other guys out to kill him. They kill Alan, and Chow Yun-fat kill those guys, and they get the other guy into another room, but the other guy is an idiot, and he goes out of the room, and he gets killed by Eye Patch Guy, who's a guy that Chow Yun-fat injured with a grenade. And it sounds pretty normal so far, pretty standard action movie affair. Then the triads take the entire fucking hospital hostage, and it just gets insane after that. Just absolutely fucking wild. But before they take the hospital, Chai, Fat, and Alan, they get trapped in a basement after, they get into the mortuary, and they get into this basement where the weapons cache is. But then the eye patch guy follows them. They get in a scuffle with him, and it's a pretty even fight for the most part. Kind of. It's like a more like 70-30 fight. But he eventually escapes, shuts the door on him, and they're trapped in there with gas coming in. And then the triads just decide, hey, fuck it. Let's take the whole hospital. And they just take this whole hospital hostage, and a couple other side character cops are in there too. And they take the hospital, and there are some like lone cops, like undercover cops not undercover, but like some cops in the hospital, like holding their ground in some like rooms. But for the most part, they have like everybody hostage, including patients, and like people that are like trying to run out because they like think it's a fire drill or whatever. Like a fire drill at a hospital where you have to take the patients out, like, maybe that's a thing, I don't know, but it sounds kind of weird to me. But then they just shoot out of the windows and kill fucking everybody. And then what happens is the cops get there, and there's this huge fucking shootout. Everybody's shooting each other, so many people are dying, and then there's more shooting, more killing, more dying, and then eventually Chai and Fat and Alan get out, and they start going on a fucking killing spree. They just, not like defending themselves, but still like a fucking, they amass a huge ass kill count in this movie. They're just walking room by room in this hospital, just murdering it. Like, there are these like fucking triad guys around every little crease of this, like every crevice of this fucking hospital. They're like video game enemies. They just like spawn in a room constantly, and they keep coming. There's like, by the end of this movie, I feel like the entirety of the triads are just done. They don't have any soldiers left. They don't have anybody. Like, the entire triads are dismantled by the end of this film. That's the only logical explanation, because there's like fucking 400 triad soldiers in this goddamn building. Kills all of them. They like just rampage throughout the hospital, murder, like shotgun, infinite ammo glitch, just murdering all of them. And eventually it occasionally cuts back to the side characters, and then there's a baby room in the hospital, obviously, but then they need to save the babies, so they like dangle the babies from the window, and they start saving the babies. And then eventually near the end of the film, there's one baby left, and Chow and Fat just carries a baby through a fucking war zone in the hospital, and he like just like shooting people and murdering people with a baby in his hand. It's so ridiculous. And then like, just so much shit happens, and I feel like there's so much crazy shit that happens in this movie. I feel like, now like in the second half, I feel like you just have to see it, because I don't want to spoil all of it, right? So I'll stop it at Chow Yun Fat carries a baby through a hospital, through a war-torn fucking hospital, and jumps out of an exploding window. But long story short, the big baddie Johnny, I think his name was, he ends up having a big death by getting shot in the face by Chow Yun Fat. Alan has like a fake out death, and then actually has like 3 fake out deaths in this movie. It's kind of crazy. But then eventually both of the characters end up, having a good ending. They both survive. Alan mentions previously in the movie how he wants to move to Antarctica. He thinks it'd be nice to live in Antarctica, so it hints that he's, given up his life of being a cop, and he moves to Antarctica. And while Chai and Fat, on the other hand, continues to do what he does, and he's like, they get a good win. They celebrate a good win. Good day fight, heroes, yes. But, yeah. The movie is very, very, very entertaining, and I was having a great time. I think, like, as I said, the first half is a little slow. You have to develop the characters, have to do all that. But when you really put your when you really just like get to that second half, it's so worth it to get through the first half. I'm not even saying the first half is bad; it's just kind of slow, you know. But then the second half kicks in, and whew, it's gold. But now, I would highly, highly, highly recommend this film if you're an action film fan, like Hong Kong action fan, you know, crime film fan, you know, just if you want to have a good time. This movie is definitely for you. It is so fucking good, and I definitely, definitely recommend it. It is spectacular. Alright, so I think I rate this film like a good 7.5 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed it, and I think you will too. Watch it, however. Maybe it's on streaming, but you should watch it. And, I think I've said all I need to say. I think I've said my piece. So, guys, hope you like this video. Hope you share your friends, subscribe, turn notifications on, comment down below how much you liked it. And, guys, I've been Runtime HD. And remember, don't jump out any windows with babies in your arms. Probably won't end as well for you as it did for Chow and Fat. Signing off.
You should have did this whole review with a baby in your arm.
Like a fake baby doll.